Welcome to Patriot Specialized, everybody. This week's episode is going to be all about legal loads. Just because they're legal doesn't necessarily mean they aren't specialized. This is the week after the 4th of July. We only got a 3-day week here. Running a legal truck chassis down to Alabama, and we're going to pick up a generator set going right back up to Pennsylvania. Stick around.
Right across these plains and prairies, Rocky Mountain highs, fade off into the distance like ghost riders in the sky. Black smoke and white line, steel horses side.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Patriot Specialized. July 5th, the day after the 4th of July. First off, I want to say Happy Independence Day to everyone out there. Hope you all got your fingers today. I know I do. I actually didn't shoot off any fireworks this way. I did. I got a couple buddies. You heard me mention them on the channel a couple times. Dave Earhart, also known as Skippy, and I have to call him my brother Keith James. They actually put on fireworks shows for one. I think it's American Fireworks. One of the fireworks they go around and shoot them off at different venues. And we went this year and saw them shoot. And what a fantastic show these guys put on. And I think this might be Dave's last year doing it. He's talking like that anyways. We'll see if it happens, if he gets it back in his blood next year. But what a great show they put on. It was a great time. We took the grandkids out there and they had a blast, and it was just fantastic. Like, very good show. I'm trying the other guys there. His wife shot an incredible video, and I'm trying to get that video sent to me and get it able to save so I can put it in here. So hopefully that'll happen, and you guys can see a little bit of that show. What a fantastic show. I hope you guys had a great, safe weekend.
He drives across this country from sea to shining sea, remembering the sacrifice, how freedom doesn't come free. With the windshield full of what he loves, takes pride in what he did and does. This soldier grabs another gear, he rolls on. Star stripes and white lines, charging through the long line like an 18-wheel cavalry loaded down with liberty.
So I'm back at it today. I wasn't sure I was going to, but as things worked out, I ended up loading today. So picked up, this week's kind of weird. I got 2 legal loads this week. Taking one down here to Alabama. I'm gonna jump out and show you here in a second. Taking it down to Alabama. And then I booked a return load generator set going back up to Pennsylvania, right by Pittsburgh, that I'll pick up tomorrow and run up to the house. And then it's a crane appointment for Monday morning delivery on that one. So that'll be it for this week. Pretty easy week, pretty good week. Money was there, so that's a good thing too. Everything worked out, and figured I'd jump out and show you this load that I got right now. Here we go. Outside the truck, this is what we got. Back picked up a garbage truck chassis. Pretty sure that's what it's gonna be. Now, this one, usually these loads are pretty simple. They don't get too crazy. About 18,000 pounds, a couple chains, you get them rolled. They're all secured the same way. You've seen me secure them 100 times. The stuff about this one that is a little bit interesting is the way this one had to go on the trailer. Because of the length, you can see up here, we're pretty close. But in order to make that fit on the trailer, we had to get this tag axle to come up onto the back deck of the trailer And the way we did that is we had a couple blocks underneath. These tires here are actually the drive tires doing all the work. So I put a couple blocks underneath, drove up onto the blocks, got that tag axle up high enough to get it to scoot back on the top of this thing. And I left the blocks in there in transit thinking they would sit on it, and it turns out that they worked themselves out. So pretty interesting. It's going to be probably going to be somewhat sketchy getting it down. I don't know. I'm going to shove some blocks back under there and see what happens. But this thing here, the way it's sitting, we're going to see how it comes down. The problem is, the sketchy part in this whole thing is the fact that this axle and that axle are your parking brakes. So these ones, if they're not touching the ground, there's nothing stopping this thing from rolling. So I think what we're going to do, and this is why I said it's going to be a little sketchy, what I think I'm going to do is just block the front tires. When I get there, I'm going to block the front tires, disconnect, take my chains off and everything, get it to sit still, and then I'm going to have to pull one block out as I come down, or if I get another block to shove underneath these tires, that should hold it in place. We're going to see what happens tomorrow. It's going to be interesting taking it down, but that's the interesting part about this job. Like everything, every day is a new adventure. You know, it's about about making things happen and overcoming problems. So one thing I did want to mention that is kind of goofy, these truck stops that we have, the parking spaces that they make, this is not a special truck. Like my truck is not, it's a 53-foot trailer with my flip down. I got a 280-inch wheelbase, and there's nothing really super special about it. However, if you look at the parking spaces that we have here, I'm in a reserve spot at a Love's, and you can see where the paint ends, and I'm sticking out in front of where the paint ends. And what I had to do in order to keep my nose from getting taken off in the truck stop, which is exactly what will happen when somebody tries to back in the spot that I'm walking in right now, I had to jump this thing up over the curb, nice and gentle. I had to put two axles over the curb in order to make this work. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. Like what I got to do, I take my outrigger boards down, I put them up right here, build up a little ramp, and bring it up. Now coming down, I could just set it down real gentle, so there's no worry there. But going up there, it's a little bit of work. So that's what I did. And this is the tricky part about having a truck that's this long. So anyway, securement on this thing, same as always. I got one chain up front. I did two binders, one chain, hooked them right to the edge of the trailer, hooked the chain in the hook up there, tightened her up. And on the back, I just did the standard X chain right off the back, going one each direction. Now today they mean a little bit more because of the way this thing's sitting up here. It means quite a bit. Here we X-chained. With these axles not sitting on the trailer, those chains are literally doing all the work holding this thing in. So it's not a bad deal, but we'll see what happens when it comes down. So that's our load for today. We're going to deliver tomorrow morning. It looks like I'm about an hour and a half out of delivery right now. Going to deliver tomorrow morning. I did. But other than that, it's pretty good load, and we'll see what happens in the morning.
This highway's more than blacktop. It's more than these white lines. It's more than just a living, y'all. It's my way of life. Just like my dad before me, I'm addicted to the road.
Look back. I bet you
Fuck.
Turn it on.
I turned it off, yeah. Just so I gotta unchain it yet. I didn't want to wait. I know that tank ain't very big.
That wire is right, but this right here, you got the wire you got.
Yep.
What's up right here? I unplugged this one. And that wire runs onto that single right there. But this wire right here, CNG fuel cap. It plugged up right here. And that wire, you was talking about that single goes in there. If you, I mean, it probably worked just like you got it. Talking about doing it too, just
jumping
looking at
it, yeah, right.
But if you ain't got that and you got them two singles, just take that off, plug it in, and ground it out. Then it'll work.
That'll work. Would that label say CNG fuel cap?
Yeah, CNG fuel cap. Just unplug it and plug it back up to this other one.
Just ground it out.
Yeah.
That'll work.
But you can probably, like I said, that wire you was talking about, I bet it'd work like you're fixing to do it too.
Ground it, yeah.
Driving trucks, eating chicken, trucking, finger licking, trying to keep it in between the lines. Bird dogs are hunting, straight pipes are puffing. I'm loving this diesel life. County Mountie in the middle, think I just peed a little. Glad I ain't got no panties on. Don't need no bugs on my glass, bears on my ass, or pop singer singing country songs. Plug plucking, chicken trucking, big wheels they're humming. High rate of fuel consumption, missing mama, needing loving, rolling with the wailing sound. Running like the Southern Shaker, I don't need no 40 acres to turn this rig around. I'm jacked up like a Chevy, but ain't heading to the levee. Lord have mercy sakes alive. On this high step and double clutching, gear jamming, chicken trucking, old school outlaw ride. It's a two-sticking, tooth-picking, possum grinning, coffee sipping, roadshow passing through your town. A rambling gypsy on a road with 18 on the floor and 18 pounding on the ground. I don't need to see bubblegum machine.
All right. That went way smoother than I thought it was going to. Got rig hooked up, chains put away. Just walking around checking my lights. This is a good thing. This is something you ought to do. Run an RGN. You're forever unhooking and rehooking these lights. Drop your neck. So I always take a minute, go around and check my lights, make sure the strobes are still working. Make sure everything works every time I hook it back up, because you just don't know, you know, wiggling around and pulling that wire in, pulling it out, pulling it in, pulling it out. Yep, everything's good. So we're out of here. There we go. Empty. That went a lot smoother than I thought it was going to. I got to load. 5-minute timer. I got a load booked out of Griffin, Georgia, going up to Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. It delivers on Monday, first thing in the morning. So we're gonna go on, scoot our way over to Griffin, which is just south of Atlanta. We're gonna get over there, get loaded. I'll get some footage there, and then be on our way home. Pretty easy week. Talk to y'all soon.
Blue lights flashing bright on this highball and skins are crawling. 6 days without my darling, gonna make it home tonight. Plug plucking, chicken trucking, big wheels they're humming. High rate of fuel consumption, missing mama, needing living, rolling with a wailing sound. Running like a Southern Shaker, I don't need no 40 acres to turn this rig around. I'm jacked up like a Chevy, but ain't heading to the levee. Lord have mercy sakes alive. On this high chicken trucking, old school outlaw ride. Oh, grab it here.
All right, all loaded up. I loaded up, secured down. You just saw that. This is, that's got me a little bit worried. There's some thunder in them clouds, so. But I wanted to shoot a real quick video for one reason, and this is good. This is good for the channel. Sometimes you get a piece of equipment that isn't exactly in the condition that you thought it would be in. So you gotta make sure that you're covered on that. So here's our unit right here. Nice big cat generator. What I did for securement is they have this tied down. The unit weighs 29,000 pounds. So we have to have 14,000 pounds of securement, but they tell me that those boxes back there, the total weight on this is 29,000 pounds, and they tell me the boxes back here are about 4,000 of that 29,000. So that puts us at 25,000 pounds of securement. So what I did here is I tied down off their tie down points. I'm right off their tie down point, right to the edge of the trailer. This does not go all the way across, so we only get half credit for that chain. I did the same thing on all four corners. Right here, half credit for that one. So basically, what I've got here is all four corners pinned up. I don't like that. Dang it, I might put a bunch of cord on there. I got all four corners pinned up, so that gives us 2 full chains worth of securement, pulling forward and backwards. So that gives us roughly 13,000 pounds of securement. If the generator itself weighs 25,000, and we got to have 12,500 pounds of securement. So we're covered. Even though it's half credit, we got it covered. And these boxes, they're a little overkill for securement, but anybody know why I did it that way? Went ahead and put 3 straps on. I got edge protection in there. Protected my straps, protect the box. Anybody got any idea why I did three straps back there for 4,000 pounds? Technically don't need that, man. I could have threw 2 over the top. Would have been okay, legally. Yeah, yeah, the reason I did it that way is because I can't see it back there. The generator's in the way, so I can't see any of that back there, but I can see the very edge of the strap over there where I got that rolled up. I can see that in my mirror. So if I keep an eye on that, and I'll see when if that thing starts to wiggle a little bit, then I'll know that's coming loose back there. But otherwise, I have no way of knowing what that's doing back there with this generator blocking it. So that was that's why I put 3 on it, just to give it extra securement. Try to make sure it stays in place back there where I can't see it. Hopefully I'll be able to, you know, hopefully those straps will never loosen up and I won't have to worry about it, but I can see those rolls in my mirror. So same thing for securement on this side. Right from the tie down point down at the trailer. Now this is the part I wanted to mention. They brought this thing out, and this is what it looked like when they brought it out. I don't know if you can see that. It's a big old dent. And then the bottom of it here, this rail that's supposed to be perfectly straight, it's all bent up too. That obviously concerns me. That could easily be blamed on me going down the road. So I talked to the guys that loaded it. They said they put it on the bills. They said the customer knows that the whole reason that it took them so long to get me loaded, the couple extra hours that I was here, was them trying to work that out. So I believe them. It is on the bills that it was damaged before loading. So that covers me, and this video hopefully will cover me if I need it. So as you can see in this video, I'm still in the parking lot of the customer. Haven't moved yet. There's also a little bit of damage over here that I noticed. Looks like one of the forks got right underneath that piece of metal there. Other than that, it looks like a pretty good unit. What the stuff is stuck in this door here. That won't make it there, I don't think. That one there looks like it might be tied in, so that'll work. I think that's got a zip tie on it, yep. All right, well that's it for this load. Got it loaded. Was here about, I don't know, 4.5 hours. I waited about 3.5 hours. Well, about 2 hours and 30 minutes or so for them to come get me to put it on. And then obviously the discussion with that and whatnot. So took a little bit longer than normal load. So one last look before I get in my truck, before them that thunder starts to create water. There we go. Last load of this week. Now we're headed home. Talk to y'all soon.
Chicken trucking, big wheels they're humming, high rate of fuel consumption, missing mama needing loving, rolling with the weight of sound. I'm running like the Southern Shaker, I don't need no 40 acres to turn this rig around. I'm jacked up like a Chevy, but ain't heading to the levee. Lord have mercy sakes alive. On this club looking, chicken trucking, big wheels they're humming, high balling, skins are crawling, 6 days without